guys, you've just listened to me do the inside, and sorry, Ado's not here. I'm in Perth this weekend. We're at the Perth Caravan show and he's at home with the kids, so you've got me for the outside too. We're going to start with the DO35. This van's rated for 3.5 tons. Now, if you've got a van that has a larger brake towing capacity, it can be re-rated to 3.7. You just need to upgrade to DO45 and upgrade your chains. But for us, we've got the 200 series. We have not done the 4-ton brake towing upgrade, so 3.5 it is. Now, looking on the front here, you can see we've only got one little gas bottle holder, and that's because the only gas in this van is our barbecue. We have no gas inside, no cooking, no hot water, and in fact, we didn't even put a bayonet on there for the barbecue, and I'll tell you why when we get around that side. But on the toolbox, you'll see these two huge diesel tanks. One of them is for our hot water and the other is for the heater. So we've replaced our gas with diesel, and this is the second van we've done that on now, and we absolutely love it. All the Vibes are Tough and OG models, have the Pro line chassis that are fully Raptor coated. Again, that's been a really nice upgrade that we've noticed the difference compared to the first chassis of the first van that we traveled Australia with. It was gal dipped, and we've noticed a hell of a lot more chips and upkeep with that compared to the Raptor coating. So we really like the Raptor coating. And then nice big toolbox. So the toolboxes that we like, that Vibe use as standard, have this beautiful little shelf up the top. We use it for all of our power leads, our water hoses, our jockey wheel lives in there when we travel. Things that you want access to really quickly. And then we've got two really great sized sides for storage on either side of the toolbox. Now, normally these toolboxes come with slides on either side. However, slides add weight and we have no use for slides. So taking the slides out is one thing that we do to shave a bit of weight off our tear weight because we really don't need them. Now, moving along to the driver's side, you will see we've got the L-shape tunnel boot like we have in our last two vans, and that is because we have the east-west bed. So this is the standard configuration when you have an east-west master bed. You will see through here, we've got huge storage. We've got the slide-out tray on the passenger side, and we use that for barbecue, air fryer, induction cooktop, because that's where all our power is. And on this side, we have a little sneaky light in there. So if it's dark and you're trying to access a few things, and this is our diesel hot water system. So we've snuck it in here in the L shape of the tunnel boot. Easy access if we need to, if there's any issues. We haven't had any issues. It's run like a dream, but easy to get to, which is really awesome. Now, moving along, we've decided to put a hatch with a 12-volt fan to access our power system. Now, Vibe Caravans run a full Victron system. They're put together by the legends at Bunk. Bunk are a Brizzy-owned company that are really the main innovators for solar in the industry in Australia. So they build all of the boards. They're absolutely awesome. And one of the reasons we needed to put this door on was because of our Garmin control system. You can see the space it's taken up. There was a heap of electrical work done on this to get that integrated into the van. Now, one thing that we found traveling Australia was how warm this section of the van gets with the inverter and all of the power board and everything in there. So we've really found it a necessity to pop the 12-volt fan on there just so that we can circulate that air, get that warm air out and get everything staying nice and cool so it doesn't overheat. Down here on the chassis, we've got our battery boxes. Now, Vibe use Bunk batteries, so made in Brizzy from the Bunk boys again. They're full discharge. We have two 300 amp lithium, and for us, having the total of 600 amps has always been enough, and it's always been enough with our electric cooking, having our aircon on, and everything like that. But I do need to say, most of that travel has been in the top part of Australia where there's blue skies most days, you don't get many clouds, and you know if you use your power, you're going to be able to charge it the next day. One thing we found coming back down into New South Wales and on the East Coast is the weather has gone crap again. So there's plenty of clouds, there's plenty of weather events all in the one day. So what we do find is when we're off grid down on the East Coast, we really need to watch what we're using and monitor the weather to make sure that we're allowing plenty of solar charge for the power that we're using. So just in front of the battery boxes here, we have the unregulated Anderson plug. So that's for your solar blanket plug-ins. Solar blankets are great. because it means you can follow the sun, you can chase the sun. When you are in winter, when you're in different parts of the country, the sun doesn't sit as high in the sky. It can just kind of track in one sort of direction, and you'll really be chasing the solar because not a lot hits your panels. Having a solar blanket means that you can move the blanket throughout the day to have full access to the sun as it shifts in the skies. And then all the Vibe Caravans come with the Arc jackable legs. Now these are super duper awesome. They're completely weight rated, so you can jack up the van to level it out. You can change tires, and it actually comes with a drill bit, which means you're actually allowed to use your drill and it is under warranty. What we find with a lot of stabilizer legs is they're not designed to be used with drills. So if you're blowing gears, if you're using your drill and things are breaking, you might not get that fixed under warranty, whereas Arc are designed for that feature. One thing that we did with our last rebunk that we will do every time is add an external hatch to under the bunks. And the reason being, it gives you a second tunnel boot, so you have even more room to store big things. Now we love this room for all of our fishing gear. The kids are right into fishing, so we've got plenty of rods. Ada has his diving gear, and we put a lot of stuff in this back area here. It doesn't come standard. We add the outdoor hatches to either side, so we have dual access, but it's one feature that we absolutely love, and it's that extra storage you get in that rear bunk layout. Now, moving into the middle of the van on the driver's side is my favorite feature, and it's the outside laundry. It means that we've turned quite a very dead, unusable space. You know, you don't use the driver's side of your van for much into a whole workhorse. And it gives me my own side away from everyone, so I can do my washing, I can hang it up, I can fold it, and not many people come to bother me on this side because they're too busy under the awning. So we have our Aussie Traveller front loader washing machine. Again, this is exactly what we've had in our other Vibes. It's been an absolute workhorse. And up under here is where our laundry chute comes out of. So that laundry chute that's in the side of the vanity in the bathroom, you open that up, the clothes drop down onto here, so you can come out, do your washing, pop it in there, turn it on and walk away. That was where Vibe started. Now there's been a new product on the industry, and you've probably seen us flog it because we absolutely love it, and that's Ventline. And what that has done is turned our washing machine and laundry into a whole hanging section. So we love these so much, we put two on. They're super handy to use. And what it means is that you don't need to have your washing out under the awning. You don't need to be ducking and weaving clothes and towels where they're drying. And you can move them out onto the driver's side where nobody plays, nobody hangs out, and it's completely out of the way. I think two fits on here perfectly. Two clotheslines will do about 3 of those washing machine loads, so that's always handy as well. And when it's time to pack up, they go straight in. You pop your travel clips in, and they are nice and narrow. They're about 20 mil thick, and you won't even know that they're there. So our little control system here, we've got our 240 plug-in. We've got all of your RCDs. We've got one section to fill up your water tanks. That's if you want to fill from the top. We do have quick fill points, so I'll move down the back and show you where those are. But we also have our outdoor shower. It is tiny, it takes up no space. So you've got your shower hose, you literally plug it in, you turn left for hot water, cold for cold. It's a simple mixer tap. And I don't know if the pump's on. Pump's not on, but you've got your hot and cold shower, so you can get back from the beach. Kids don't need to go anywhere with sand on the other side of the caravan, and you can wash them off here. This is one for the boys because boys love their wheels, and the Tough spec with Vibe come with the Rose or ROH as standard, and you can choose from which colour and which patterns that you want. Now we've chosen the graphite. I forget what these are called. Ada will be able to tell me, and I can pop them down in the comments. But they look amazing. They're mean, they look awesome, and the Tough comes with the new Mutant Predator all-terrain tyres. As always though, because Vibe are custom, they've got an extras list, pages long. If you want something else, most of the time we can sort it out for you. But we love the Rose. We love this graphite. You've got the graphite in the middle with the matte black on the outside. and they look schmick. We have our grey water outlet. We have our water tank isolators. So we have two 110 litre water tanks and a 110 litre water grey tank. We have our main water plug-in, and we have our quick fill points. So these points are really handy. It means that you can fill your water tanks from the bottom, so there's less airlocks involved, and it means that you can unplug from the mains and just plug straight in. You don't need to worry about standing, holding it into the side of the van. It fills it up, it's done, it's dusted. Again, convenience is king when you are traveling. The back of the van is all but the same as our last 21 foot. However, I wanted to point a few things out. Again, we've opted to upgrade to the larger centered windows. For us with the double bunks, it can be done because the spare tire is in the way of a bottom bunk if you have three, but we really love it because it means that you can be standing in the van, you can look straight down the back, and that's where the view is most of the time. You can see the view, you've got breeze coming all the way in, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, if you didn't upgrade to the large centered windows, normally Vibe do a window up this end of the van and they're stacked, and that still looks great, but we like to be able to see that view from standing in the kitchen, sitting in our bed, and it really opens it right up. Now, we've got two jerry can holders. We've added one on as an extra, and we've got the 3-arm rebar, which is weight rated so that we can fit the diesel or the water on there, as well as a spare tire, and head off on all of our adventures. Costume change, guys. It is now day 3 of the Perth show. I couldn't film the passenger side of the van last week because all the hatches were locked and we didn't have the keys. So we've got music from the Isuzu stand. Hopefully you can hear me here with the microphone, but I want to show you this side of the van because it's absolutely mint, and it's the reason why we came up with the name Swiss for this van. We name all of our vans, but it's like a Swiss Army knife. So I'm going to start with the tunnel boot. The 1 metre slide out comes standard in the stuff spec, and we use it as our outdoor kitchen. So we have our barbecue, air fryer and induction cooktop on here whenever we go away. In the tunnel boot here, we've got 240 watt power, we've got 12 volt power, and some little lights, some little touch lights there, which is really nice and handy. Lots of people talk about wanting to have an outdoor kitchen, and look, they can be really handy. You can get ones with hot and cold water, you can get induction cooktops, gas cooktops. That's awesome, but for us they're heavy, and we're already pinching at weight, trying to reduce our tear weight so we've got as much payload as possible. So having the slide out is a really nice compromise. I know lots of people are doing it now, and it just keeps everything super neat, has a place for everything. And when you're not using it, you push it in and it's all packed away really nicely. Now, Vibe used the Steedy lights, the white and the amber. So amber's really good to keep away the bugs. So all of the lights on this side are the white and the amber. Now, coming under the awning, we've got the split windows. And in the internal walkthrough, I showed you those. I spoke about how you can keep the bottom window closed, keep the blind up for privacy, but still keep that top window open for security. And now that I'm standing out here, you can see there is no one climbing up there unless they have a ladder. And surely if somebody was at your window with a ladder trying to get in, somebody's going to notice that. So we really like that for privacy and security. It is an extra, but we've done it in our last 2 or 3 Vibes, I think, by memory, and we've liked it every time. Coming along, this is our coffee machine 2.0. And I say that because in our last Vibe, our 21-foot rebunk, which you can see we did an ep on that, a walkthrough ep, we had the coffee machine on a slide, but we incorporated this style picnic table into it. So we had the coffee machine, we had a spot with all of the plugs and all the TV points and storage. That worked really well because it kept everything close together. However, what we found was we had our $700 or so coffee machine on the slide, and when we were leaving the van for the day, we didn't want to leave that open. So we were unplugging everything, moving everything aside, and closing the big door so that the coffee machine was locked up. Now, in our 19 6-foot kitchen, there wasn't enough room for that big coffee machine hatch anyway. However, we'd already made the decision that we wanted to isolate the coffee machine, so it was so much easier to close that and lock that when we went away, and we weren't impacting anything else. Generally, on the normal storage picnic table, there's nothing of value there, so we leave it open all the time. But this just means that our coffee machine, our Breville coffee machine, is nice and safe. So we've got the slide Now I know people that are going to use this for an air fryer, ice machine, everybody's frothing on the Ninja slushy machines, and you've got 2 power points in there as well, so multi-purpose. We did it for Ado's bloody coffee machine because I was sick of it on my bench, but it's been very popular. There's lots of people that are wanting it, so that's been a really nice little invention to make everything work for us. Now we've got just a really nice big standard picnic table here. We carry minimal tables, we just have 1 table to sit out to eat, so this means we've got plenty of room to do everything else. And then coming along, we've got the storage picnic table that comes standard with the Tough spec. So with the Tough spec, normally you would have a picnic table and the storage picnic table. Now this doubles as your entertainment hatch. So you can see here we have a mount for a TV. So movie nights with the kids, surfing for Ado. I don't get to watch much of my trashy TV out here, but I don't want to because I don't want everyone else to see what I'm watching. So I will duck inside and watch what am I watching at the moment? Real Housewives of London, Made in Chelsea, all by myself, thank you. But the storage picnic table, we use this for all of our sauces, sunscreen, Aerogard, antiseptic creams, sunnies, whatever we throw in there. And then you've got your power points and you've got your 12 volt, your cigarette lighter and your aerial plug in there as well. So that one's really handy. That does come standard with the Tough. You can add that to a Marlow if you want as well. Now, moving on to hatch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or access point number 5. This is the door that we put on that backs into the area that we originally made for Jinxie for her dog kennel. Now, everybody knows she didn't make the first trip, so that is what it is. But the reason why we wanted to hatch this externally was to make it a multi-purpose area. Originally, my vision was toy box for the kids, something that you would want to access from inside or outside. And the prime example of that is you've been traveling all day, the kids get out absolutely feral and all you want to do is set up. You don't need to get inside, move, find them stuff and do all of that. You can simply open this hatch, throw them the toy box, say, there you go guys, go and play, let us set up. And it's been 2 seconds, super, super easy. We ourselves use this spot for our shoes. Like we had a shoe box, we just had a rubber tub with all of our shoes in there. The first time we went away, it was middle of August, it was still really chilly. And I had all of our slippers in there, our joggers, and I was able just to throw them out, pass me your joggers. At the end of the night when the kids went into bed, they walked in, they opened the door on the other side and put their slippers back in. So that was bloody handy, I'm not going to lie. But poor Jinxie girl, never got a camp in there, but multi-purpose area. Now, one more hatch because it wouldn't be called Swiss without another one. This is a hatch to access under the kids' bunk. Works like a tunnel boot. So this door itself isn't too wide because you don't want to lose too much length of your awning, but it's big enough that you can get access to everything in there. There's internal access that you can see, and we have got a larger door on the driver's side. So heaps more room on that side to get to things. Look, I think why have storage under the bunks if you're only going to access it internally? I think doors on the outside are a must. It's such a big area, great for fishing rods, dive gear, you know, all those really long things that because we've got the slide and barbecue and stuff in the tunnel boot, it gives it a really nice space for everybody to have that. Now I'm going to pop some doors up and I'm going to show you our airbags. So if you've watched any of our previous videos, you will know that this is Adrian's non-negotiable, and these are MaxTrac's airbags. Now Vibe use MaxTrac as standard. They're Proline's own brand, so Proline, fully Aussie made chassis. They're absolutely awesome. Their chassis have held up for everything for us, and so have the airbags. We always run stage 3 airbags. You can do stage 3, stage 4. Stage 4 has an auto leveling function, so you can set a preset option so that you can always take your caravan back to ride height. So that's the height that you need it to be towed by your tow vehicle. For us, we've always run stage 3 because we were always traveling full time. Less moving parts is less things that can go wrong. So you can save a little bit of money by doing stage 3. If you want the luxury of being able to push a button and getting the van back to where you need it to tow, you can go stage 4. However, we've been really sneaky in this van. If you watch the internal walkthrough, you would see the Garmin system that we put in, the Garmin digital switching system. And part of that component is you can add a component into the airbags, which makes them completely controlled off your phone or off the screen inside, and makes them auto leveling. And there's actually 3 preset settings that you can have. So you can have your drive height, you can have a low setting and a high setting. So a little bit more expensive to do it that way, little bit more options available in terms of your presets and things. Now, one thing that's handy, especially with the family, with the airbag suspension, is you can get your connectors so you can pump up your tires, pump up your inflatables, pump up your balls. So there's, you don't need to carry any other air compressors, unless for your car if you're going on the beach, because you won't have this with you all the time. But for all those things for the kids and all your floaties and stuff, whack this on, they'll be done in no time at all. Now, I did talk about it on the other side, but we had the truss flat floor chassis. It gives you extra height clearance even if you weren't going to have airbags. It's completely Raptor coated, and we've loved the Raptor coating compared to the gal dip that we had on our very first van that we started going around Australia. We find it really heavy duty, really durable, and if we've needed to touch it up anywhere with any chips, it's just a spray can from Repco and Auto Cheap and Auto Pro, whatever they all are, super cheap. So that's been really good as well. But we've noticed that there's been a hell of a lot less chips even after the Gib and NT and Outback Queensland than our traditionally gal dipped chassis that we had. So we've been super happy with our Proline chassis and MaxTrack airbag suspension. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the walkthrough of our 19.6 rear double bunk Vibe Caravan. We feel like we've nailed it. Going to 19.6, we've still been able to have a huge kitchen and lounge area, plenty of space for everything. The kids still get their own bedroom. We've got that center ensuite, and for us, this bed setup is just perfect. It means that we can go shorter, save on tear weight, so create a bit more payload, and it's super usable. We've been so happy. I must say though, that we're getting lots of inquiries for vans under 20 foot, and now that I have trialed and tested the 19.6 rear bunk, I would have this for a lap around Australia. If you've watched my 2 other internal walkthroughs of our 20-foot 6 traditional layout and our 21-foot rear bunk, you will know that I always say that I have to have the biggest kitchen bench possible. And I still stand by that. I still love it. But the 19.6-foot kitchen bench, it's 14-15, so about 1.4 meters long. I haven't missed it. As usual, we do sales for Vibe Caravans. It would be wrong of me to get on here and not disclose that straight up. But if you have any questions, if you are interested in a Vibe Caravan yourself, if you would like some brochures, if you'd like some pricing, and if you want a hand to build your van, let me know, get in contact. We've got Instagram, Facebook, The Endless Circle AU. You can contact me there, you can DM me. I'll pop my email address in the description below. And we do things differently. So we want to work with you to make sure that we can build you a van that is perfect for you and nobody else. So we want to make sure you're going to get the inclusions that you need to be able to travel the way that you want to travel. And we can take out the stuff that you're not going to use. Why have tomato if you're not going to eat tomato? Get in contact. Let me know if you'd like some info on Vibe Caravans. If you've got any questions about traveling Australia full time, doing it with kids, what works or what we found worked, what we found didn't work, reach out as well. We're always happy to help wherever we can. And of course, we've got Auswide Weighing and Safety, shameless plug. So if you're in the Coffs Harbour area and would like a weigh, let me know. If you've got questions on tow vehicle setups, on upgrades, on again, what we've seen work and not work, reach out as well. I'm happy to share whatever information I can. I want to get you guys out on the road. We've done it for 3 years full time. We're still continuing doing it from a base now, but that time we've had in the kids has been absolutely priceless. I would not trade it for the world. And you know, if I can help you do that and spend that time with your kids and shape them to be amazing adults, that is my absolute dream. So hope you've enjoyed our 19.6-foot rear double bunk Vibe Caravan. We absolutely love it. Go forth and conquer. Go forth and enjoy the adventures, and look forward to seeing you all soon.